Scoreboard's countdown to the elections continues. 154 days left until the midterms. And in Wisconsin, a key congressional race is heating up as the September 14th primary draws near. Now, this is the seat that was held for 41 years. Is that right? By David Obey? Wow. It's a long time for one guy. He has announced, of course, that he is dropping out, and Democratic leaders have rallied behind State Senator Julia Lassa as their favored nominee to run for the seat. But is anyone tied to the administration in Washington going to have trouble in the race? Let's ask our next guest. Now, we should say up front, he has skin in the game big time. He is a Republican candidate for Congress and Ashland County, Wisconsin District Attorney Sean Duffy. And he did something with MTV a long time ago. We won't go into all that stuff again.
Thank you very much.
Hey, I was at Woodstock. We'd like to forget some mistakes we made.
I appreciate that.
Why did Dave Obey bow out?
Well, there's a lot of speculation, and a lot of people on the right will give me credit for running a great campaign and putting together an excellent team, and that's why he got out.
So you scared him out of the race.
Some people say that. I don't know. You know what? He's been there for 41 years. I imagine he says he's bone tired. There's other things he wants to do. Yeah. But no doubt it's going to be a difficult political season.
What else does he want to do?
Well, I don't know. But it's going to be a difficult political season. He had to come back and explain some of his votes. He was the author of the stimulus package. He held the gavel on the Sunday night the health care bill passed. So there was some explaining to do in Wisconsin.
Explaining to do. Now, how does the health care bill rank in Wisconsin? Were they in favor of it, against it, what?
We have a good senior base there, and folks are upset that we're going to take $500 million out of Medicare to fund this health care bill.
But and in local polls, did it poll badly?
You know, people weren't in favor of it. And to say that we have, a top issue economy, jobs, and they're talking about debt, and then after that was this health care bill.
Because the reason I ask is because you think of Wisconsin, maybe it's because of David Obey, but you think of David Obey and some other liberal congressmen they've had over the years, and you think of places like Madison, you think it's a liberal state. But in keeping with this huge political transition that we're in right now, where America is really changing big time in some areas, like Massachusetts, for example, like Wisconsin, do you think that sea change has affected Wisconsin?
Well, just to be clear on Wisconsin, we have Paul Ryan, Jim Sensenbrenner, Tommy Thompson. So this is
a mix.
Independent-minded folks who are, for the most part, pretty conservative, but they voted Democrat for a very long time, so they're open to, a message of fiscal responsibility, of reducing the size of government.
What was it? What was the last straw on the camel's back that made things change?
I think that people see this huge debt, and they understand the impact of debt in their lives, and they see Dave Obey's role in debt. And as I look forward, a lot of people have said, listen, you're going to have to retool your race. You were running against Dave Obey. Now you're running against Julie Lassa. That's not the case. Julie Lassa has been the same kind of representative in Madison that Dave Obey was in Washington, a big spender, big government, and the message is the same. People want fiscal responsibility.
But she doesn't say that she's a big spender, right? I mean, how does she coach her language in a way that makes it sound more palatable?
She can't get rid of her record. And when you have a voting record that is lockstep with Governor Jim Doyle, you can't get away with it. And so the issues, I think, are going to be the same. And just because Dave Obey retired, that doesn't mean that we don't now have problems still in Washington, D.C. We have a $13 trillion debt. We're looking at a deficit of $1.5 trillion. Yeah. This is unsustainable. People get it, and they want to bring truly conservative candidates to Washington to make sure we do the heavy lifting.
Now, are you officially endorsed by the Tea Party, or are they still kind of dividing their votes between you and other people?
No, they haven't come out with an endorsement, but I will say this. A lot of the folks in Wisconsin who are part of the Tea Party movement are involved in my campaign because they want less government, more fiscal responsibility. Now, I will say this, too, that people will say certain things on the right and the left that I don't agree with, but for the most part, they're good people who care about the direction of the country.
One issue, I was surprised to hear this had resonance in Wisconsin, the immigration issue and what's happening in Arizona. We should mention your wife is a Mexican-American from Arizona, but she's in favor of this immigration law that they have down there, right?
And I have 6 kids, and I think we have the biggest population in Ashland County of Mexican-Americans with my family.
Why is she in favor of the Arizona law?
Just because she's Mexican-American doesn't mean she's not in favor of legal immigration and opposed to illegal immigration.
I've seen that very often.
There's a lot of folks who experience workers coming to Wisconsin who are taking jobs from Americans, and they want a secure border that's not porous. And they also, it's not just about jobs, it's about drugs coming across the border. It's about maybe possibly nuclear arms or a dirty bomb coming across the border.
That's what scares my wife the most too.
That's right.
Sean Duffy, great to see you again. Thanks very much.